Postpartum depression hit me after my second kid. Life appeared increasingly hopeless. My upbringing was shaped by my single-parent household. After having my child, I felt selfish and doubted I could make him happy. It was a cruel world, and I fear I couldn't protect him. I lost my appetite and stopped enjoying food. I lost interest in food and stopped being hungry, worrying about my health. My mood darkened. Depression left me helpless and forlorn. I wanted to conquer this mood and establish a good home for my kids. Strange things happened 6 months after giving birth. Some dark figures appeared. They hated me and wanted to hurt me. The shadows may have been negative energy, and they could change faces and terrorize me at night. I was too afraid to sleep for several nights. The source of these shadows and their bothersomeness were unknown. I felt helpless and disoriented in their company. My enthusiasm was gone, and I was weak and fatigued. I reclined on my bed one afternoon to rest after putting my son to bed. In my bewildered state, I fell asleep immediately. Later, an invisible force pulled me down, and I started sliding. Fear engulfed me when I fell into a dark cave. As if lost in limitless darkness, everything was pitch black. The cave's gloomy atmosphere made me feel trapped and unable to breathe. Fear held my mind like a magic claw, enslaving me. I wondered if I belonged here. This gloomy cave felt like my prison, and I felt locked there by choice. I felt lost and puzzled. I didn't know how to return to my real life. A dark cave appeared to have no outlet. I lost my way as everything blurred. As many dark shadows approached, an awful vibe pervaded their surrounds. Their shapes became clear, distorted human beings with dark bodies and red eyes. I asked God for aid. I overcome my fear by praying. Looking at them, I was confident. The strength of these dark shadows gradually waned. I discovered my strength. They were warm and bright, reducing black shadows. A dazzling light rose from the darkness as the black shadows faded. I felt like a hand lifted me out of that dark cave. I floated to my house's roof and observed people around me. I questioned why they cared about my physique. I felt peaceful and pleased now. I felt completely relieved and liberated from the agony and stress of the past few weeks. This state made me ready to depart. I knew I was about to go on a new adventure. Flying away from home, I kept rising. I entered the city's sky, where everyone was doing their own thing. People in buildings shrank as I rose. I stopped at the clouds after floating up. It didn't matter why. I did it for fun. I felt peaceful and light in the clouds. The clouds were gentle, and I shrank until I was part of them. I felt like I merged with the cloud. I could see the earth from this height as I rose. I could see the earth's huge oceans and land areas. I was captivated by this view. I saw how all living things and plants are interdependent in the cycle of life. God includes all relationships. I used to question everything, immersed in uncertainty and doubt. My anxieties faded here. Every human creature and plant, from insects to trees, is irreplaceable. I recognized how interdependent and important they were. I sensed a strong, warm force in front of me. An angel appeared. He was luminescent and full of love. The angel's presence awed and delighted me. Angel took me on a new path. I was amazed by the sight as we sped along. I saw an unending starscape. These views made me feel insignificant. This journey energized and lit my heart. The ladder to heaven was visible. An elderly man carefully climbed the ladder to heaven, his face filled with calm and contentment like he had reached his home. A vast crowd lined up at heaven's gate. Each was joyful and anticipatory. Loved ones lined both sides of the route. Many tall, majestic angels gathered before heaven's gates. They welcomed souls to heaven as God's messengers. The angel then led me inside a room. This room had a special energy. The ceiling had cryptic symbols and designs, while the walls cast a pleasant glow. It appeared to be a welcome area. I heard a soft voice say, "My child, welcome." Though I hadn't seen God, I knew it was his voice. He alone could give me that feeling. God replied, "I love you, child, and everything will be well. My affection will always be with you." His words were filled with boundless love and forgiveness, and I felt his concern. God loved and accepted me unconditionally. His affection covered me like a feather, giving me strength and confidence. My mind was full of questions. Why was my life so painful? I begged God. I wanted an answer. God taught me that my pain was caused by the world's complexity, not his punishment. He encouraged me to keep faith and hope that tribulation can lead to salvation. He promised to constantly love and strengthen me. God showed me scenes. I saw pictures of things that had always hurt me. I felt helpless after seeing my father assault me as a child. I was depressed after seeing school bullying. These recollections depressed me and made me question my worth and life purpose. God told me to observe my surroundings. All through these awful scenes, an angel was with me. God told me this angel was my guardian angel and had never left me. I realized God's love was greater than my pain. He promised I will return to my true home and meet him again. I would be comforted and my suffering healed then. This was a long talk with God. God showed me my destiny and gave me hope and faith. My future wasn't as horrible as I anticipated. I envisioned a happy, meaningful life spent with loved ones in peaceful, caring families. These images gave me hope that God will help me overcome my life's struggles and lead me to a better future. He taught me that he has prepared the way and that all will go well if I preserve my faith and courage. He urged me to keep going after my goodness. After saying goodbye to God, the angel took me from heaven. We descended slowly, and I felt the air and earth's gravity. Back to my body. My consciousness reunited with my body as it warmed. It was great to return to a familiar and new environment. I heard my surroundings and felt my body. Bird chirping filled me with life and made me appreciate life. I woke up in bed in my familiar bedroom. The walls had my favorite photos, making me feel connected to them. I felt toasty from window light. Inhaled deeply. This was no dream, but a real and beautiful journey. Whether I believed in God. Yes, I am glad for the angels and God's counsel, love, and exquisite experience and revelation. This encounter deepened my knowledge of God's love. He gave me limitless hope and bravery. I felt God's love when I returned to reality. I felt so delighted and at rest, knowing God was silently supporting me. This encounter also strengthened my faith. God's presence is felt in the heart, not seen. God created everything and made us his children. He loves us unconditionally.